Okay, today we're going to take a look at Chapter 2, which is 3D wireframe modeling. Okay, we won't be drawing a whole lot of wireframes, but we can use some of the things that we'll learn here in some of our drawings in the future. Okay, I'm going to go up here to New, up top. That's going to open up my Create a New Drawing. Okay. I'm going to make sure I'm in templates. I'm going to browse to my template. So I'm going to go find my template. And this is a 3D inch. And I'm going to pick open. Okay, I'm going to go down to model. And I'm going to go to the top view. So I'm just going to go up here, go to top. Okay, I'm going to leave my world coordinate system as top. I'm going to type in perspective, change that to 0. Okay? Alright, so we're going to start off. We're going to create a rectangle, and the rectangle is going to go from 0, 0, and that's going to go to 4.5, 3. Okay, so there is our rectangle. Now, one of the things I forgot to do is I want to change this to object as my current layer. And I want to put this one on the object layer. So right now you'll see it's on 0. And I will go to object. Okay, so there we have our rectangle that we just drew. We're going to take a look at this in 3D. So we're going to hit the down arrow next to top. We're going to go to southeast isometric. Okay. And there is our rectangle. We created it using the rectangle command. Okay, that way it is a single entity. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to make a box, and then we're going to cut our shape out of the box. So I'm going to take up here and I'm going to go to copy. Okay. I'm going to go to copy. Hit enter. Base point, I can pick any corner. And then I will pick at, let me see what that is, 0, 0, nothing in the X and Y direction. In the Z direction, I'm going to go up 2.5. Okay, so there is my rectangle. Now I'm going to draw the lines going down here. Now, they have us go and use the absolute coordinate values, but I'm not going to do that because you won't do that very often. So I'm just going to go up to the line command. I'm going to make sure that I have my snapping on for my O-snaps. I'm going to go to endpoint, Oops, I'm going to go to endpoint. It's a real pain in the ass when you go. Okay, and I'm going to go to endpoint to 0, 0. Endpoint and endpoint. Okay, so now we have a box. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to, and I'm on like page 210, and we're going to use the snap option to locate those top corners that they show on the part. So the command that we're going to use is the snap from command. Now I can go up here to tools, toolbars, AutoCAD, and object snap, and that will come here. I can also hold my shift button down and click with my right mouse button, and that's what I do normally, but since I put this here, we'll use that. Okay, and we're going to use the from command, and the from command allows us to pick a reference and then draw our line in reference to that point or from that point. Okay, so I'm going to go to line, then I'm going to pick from, which is the second one here. Okay, and I'm going to pick that endpoint right there. Okay, now I need to use the at command because it's relative to that. And now I'm going to go 0.75 in the X direction, 0 in the Y direction, and 0 in the Z direction. Okay. And you'll see now that I have a line, okay, that started 0.75 away from that from command. Okay? Alright, then we're going to type at 0, -2, 0. Okay, and that will give us our command, that gives us our line to there. And I'm going to go over here till we see that it says that it's perpendicular. Okay, so I'm going to pick that. So that is the top part of our line there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to draw a line. Okay, I'm going to do from again. Okay, and I'm going to pick this line right here, that endpoint right there. Okay, and I'm going to go to at 0, 0, -1, which is going to give me a line starting down here. Okay, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to do at, and I'm going to go 0.75 in the X direction, 0 in the Y and Z direction. Okay, and I take and I'm going to draw and connect those lines. Okay, so I have my part started there. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to copy the rectangle up for the thickness of this. I'm going to go to copy command. Okay, I'm going to pick there. I can pick any endpoint, or I can pick just any place on the screen if I'd like. And click there, and I will do at 0, 0, 0.7. We're going up in the Z direction, 0.75. Okay, and there is my outline there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to copy these two lines, okay, over so that they're these lines here and here. I'm going to copy, pick this line, that line. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to pick this endpoint and go to that endpoint. Okay, so now we have our basic shape. Okay, and we're going to use the trim command and we're going to trim it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to trim here and here. Okay, with the trim command in 2021, if you trim something, okay, just keep trimming, it goes away. Okay, I'll trim this guy, trim that one, here, 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 and then this one will go away. Okay, and I'll trim this line right here. Okay, so again, we have our basic shape. Okay, I'm going to take now and I'm going to offset this line here, okay, for the little cutout in there. Now the thing is, right now that is a single line. So if I go to offset that, and I'm going to offset that like 0.5, what's going to happen is going to offset that whole object. Okay, and that would be fine if I had to go 0.5 here, but I don't. So what I need to do is I need to explode this into the entities again. Now one thing that's tricky here is that this line and that line are lining up. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to rotate this guy around a little bit. Okay, just so I can see those lines, so I'm not confused between the line that's going to go across here and the line across the back. You can also hold the shift button down and hold down your scroll button. Okay, and I can do it that way. Okay, now I'm going to pick explode, and I'm going to explode this one here. Now I'm going to offset, and I'm going to offset 0.5 here, in, here, and in. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset from this point back 1.5. I'm going to offset again 1.5 and offset from here to here. Okay, I'm going to trim these guys up. Go from here, 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 and here. Okay, so I have that line right there. Okay, I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to go into circle, center, and diameter. Okay, and I'm going to pick from. I'm going to pick this corner right here. Okay, and I'm going to do at negative 2.67 in the X direction, comma 1.5 in the Y direction, and I'm going to hit enter. Okay, now it's going to ask me where I want what I want the diameter circle of, and it's going to be 0.375. Okay, so now I have my diameter. Okay, now it looks like that they picked the radius. So I'm just going to go up here to center and radius. Okay, I'm just used to drawing diameter on a draw circle. The book sometimes doesn't do that, so I have to pay attention. So it's actually this size right here. So I should have picked radius instead of diameter. Okay, so there is my circle. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to copy these down for the thickness. So I'm going to go to copy. I'm going to pick that hole, this line, and that line. Okay, I don't need these lines here because they're going to be already there. Okay, so I picked those entities. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, and I'm going to pick the thickness. So this endpoint here to that endpoint there. Okay, now I have my object. So I can go here, connect from here to here, here to here, here to here, and here to here. Okay, I'm also going to draw a line from the quadrant of this circle to the quadrant of this circle, and the quadrant of this circle to the quadrant of that circle. Okay, I need to trim this line around here, and there we have our drawing. Now I'm going to look at putting it on the piece of paper one more time. So I'm going to go to layout 1, which is our A size. I'm going to go up here to layout. I'm going to go to rectangular. Okay, the first point is going to be that lower left hand, and then the upper right hand. Okay, and there's our cutout in the paper. Okay, I'm in paper space. I'm going to double click in here to be in model space. I'm going to take off the grid. Now obviously that doesn't fit, but look here, my scale is 1.658, which isn't a good scale anyway. So if I went to 1.5, oops, that's 1 to 5 average. Okay, if I went to 1/2, okay, I could probably go bigger than that. So why don't I try 1? Okay, and 1 looks like it's going to fit. I'll just scale it up a little bit. Okay, now again, I'm in model space. You can see I'm in model space. I don't want to move anything, because if I move this, now you'll see that my scale has changed and I have to go back and change it again. Okay, I'm going to go into paper space. I'm going to click on that viewport that we made. I'm going to right click, display locked, yes. Okay, now I'm going to fill out the title, drawing number, the scale, the date, and the material. Okay, that is it for Chapter 2. Now you're going to draw one of the objects on at the end of Chapter 2. All right, that's it for this lesson.